Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's MacklinGaming. It has been 1 week since Pokemon Day and the Pokemon Presents showcase, where they revealed at the end gameplay for Pokemon Legends ZA. And it seems like all the talk this week has been about that game and how it looks graphically, and it's not been well received, which who could have seen that coming? Like with Game Freak and its recent trend over the years of 3D games, when they used to be, you know, just like 2D Pokemon, they've transitioned to the 3D space, and it hasn't been pretty for them, has it? You know, I didn't mind the way Scarlet and Violet looked, but the performance of that game was not good enough. But Legends Arceus, you know, and now Legends ZA, these games, they don't look great graphically, and people are complaining online about that, which I understand, but I'm just gonna say it right out front, right here, at the beginning of the video. Game Freak has never been about graphics as a development team. They've always been about gameplay. Pokemon games are super fun, and the gameplay loop that you get into while playing these games is what makes you play for hundreds of hours. It's not the graphics. Like, when has Pokemon ever been about the graphics, okay? But yes, I know Game Freak's trying to go to the 3D Pokemon style, and they've been doing that for maybe the last like 5 years. Technically, like Sword and Shield might have been the first 3D Pokemon game from Game Freak, and so ever since then they've been kind of struggling. You know, I feel like they need some help within Nintendo, like Monolith, to help them out, or someone, you know, the Breath of the Wild team, to just like show them the ropes, because all of their 3D game releases have been, you know, a little iffy on the graphics. But do I care? No. You know, I played Arceus for probably over 100 hours easily, you know, a couple of playthroughs, and it is just so much fun to play. It's about the gameplay. It's about exploring, you know, picking up all those resource materials, catching Pokemon in the wild. That is why we're playing these games. Do I wish they looked a little bit better? Yeah, but, you know, Scarlet and Violet could barely run on the original Nintendo Switch. So we need to see what they can do on the Switch 2, and maybe with that extra hardware, Game Freak games will start looking a little bit better, right? So what we're gonna do today is go a little bit more in depth in the Legends ZA gameplay trailer. We're gonna take a look at it again, and we're gonna actually look at the awesome gameplay improvements they've made in this game. You know, like the graphics, they're there. We're gonna try to ignore them, but we're gonna talk about the actual gameplay mechanics and how fun this game could potentially be. Let's go look at it. All right, so here we are taking a look at the Legends ZA gameplay trailer.
Pokemon Legends ZA
Here's
is a new
Lumiose
title
City
in the Pokemon series.
From the Kalos region.
The story
Pretty
takes
exciting to be
place
able to
in
go
Lumiose
back
City,
to the Mega
the largest
Evolution
city in the Kalos
region where it all began,
Prison
Gen
Tower
6.
stands tall at the center of this city of
There's a little
beautiful
shopping
vistas.
mall, some original evolutions.
These days,
There's a Pokemon Center. So this is the first kind of like new mechanic. These are the wild areas. I don't know if, or did they call them wild zones, wild areas from Sword and Shield. The wild zone. So these are built into the city, you know, because it was like, what are they going to do in the middle of a city? How are we going to catch wild Pokemon? Well, this is the answer. There's going to be these zones where wild Pokemon are able to roam free in their habitat, which I like. But how varied are these wild zones going to be? How expansive, you know, how really filled with nature are they? This one looks kind of like a cemetery. Like if you look through that, there's like these gray stones and just a tiny bit of grass. So like, what is this really? Maybe this is where the ghost Pokemon are at. That'd be sweet. But I want these wild zones to be good. I want there to be good exploration in this game, you know, apart from just being in the city. But we'll see. I haven't seen enough from them yet
undergoing a high-tech
to be
urban
convinced.
Development plan to turn it into a city that people
Ooh, the
and
little dragon
Pokemon
boys.
truly share.
So, look, you got people walking around with their Pokemon. Let me go back a little bit. Everyone's got their Pokemon out. Some little kids walking around with their Sylveon. So I wonder how dense, like it doesn't look dense with the population of all the people on this shot, but the game will improve. This is not final footage, you know, but it looks like everyone can have their Pokemon out and about, and it looks like you can too as the player. Like
After
you can walk
arrive
around
in
with your
Lumiose City
Pokemon.
to see the sights, you'll meet 3
Which we all love
Pokemon,
that
one
mechanic.
of which will become your first partner: Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile.
All right, so for the 3 starters, let's talk about that real quick. They picked 2 of them from Gen 2 and then 1 from Gen 5, right? But why did they do that? I think the reason was they went to their, Game Freak creative team, and whoever came up, they went, take away Rowlet and Cyndaquil and Oshawott, because they were in Arceus. Remove them, and for all the other starters, try and come up with the best region-exclusive 3rd evolution. Remember Typhlosion was that awesome ghost type, and Rowlet turned into like a samurai at the end, Decidueye. So there are those region-exclusive 3rd evolutions that my guess is Game Freak team they came up with the best ideas for Chikorita, who's going to be Meganium, for Totodile and for Alligator, and for Emboar, right? I think these are the best designs that they came up with. That'd be my guess is why they picked 2 from Gen 2.
Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter.
Cool.
When you
AZ
arrive in
is there.
Lumiose,
Our
you'll
boy
meet a new
Az.
friend and ally.
Some new characters.
Urbane
They'll
or
be like
Tawny.
your little rival,
The
more like
hotel
your
where
friend
you'll be staying
at this
is
point.
run by AZ.
Look at how tall
You'll
this guy
also meet
is.
His partner, Floette. Lumiose's
Floette, remember that
is being
story
managed
from
by
the
Quasar Tico
XY
Inc.
games
You'll
about
become
him and his
acquainted with
Floette?
the company's CEO Jet and her secretary
It's
Vin.
very touching.
The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all
I didn't
the
realize how
richer.
tall he really was, though. It's crazy. All right, they're
To
going to
help
show
people
the
and
wild
Pokemon
zones and show
coexist,
some
the
gameplay in
city
here.
has
This
set
is
up
good.
wild zones.
See, you got the Magikarps in the pond, a little Budew right here, but that's it. Like, what else is going on? And you can see the outline of the wild zone. It's not big. So, they got work to do here. I don't know if that's going to be
These
good enough.
areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive.
So what you got here looks like the Legends Arceus setup, with a different UI, of course, but you can just walk up, aim at a Pokemon, and throw.
Pokemon
This is
use
interesting
its
right
moves
here,
to
though.
weaken
Look,
the target.
you see that how you actually depleted the health of the Flaffy, or they did. You don't have to leave a little bit of health remaining. You can just
Use its moves to
knock them out, and then they get these stars above their head, and then you can throw a Pokeball to catch them, even though you've knocked them out. So that's brand new to Pokemon.
weaken the target, making it easier to catch.
Usually you have to leave a little bit of health remaining, right? So that's an interesting new mechanic. I think it makes it easier.
This game offers a
to catch
style of
Pokemon that way.
battling not seen in previous titles.
I'm really
Moves
excited
can have
for
a
the
longer or shorter
Totodile
reach, or
3rd
different
evolution. I'm
areas of
definitely going to
effect.
pick him. But look at this. This is a big part of why I wanted to watch this trailer today. Look at the free roaming, almost like real-time combat. So you got Water Gun with a circle, like a target in the middle. That is a super effective move against Tepig. You've got Bite, which is just like a regular circle. It does have the eye of the dark type, but that's not the circle. That's not like a target. That's just a circle. So that's just going to be regular effective, right? Tackle's just going to be regular effective too. And Leer is just, a status move. But the fact that you're moving around, your Pokemon is moving around in this 3D battle space, and you can just shoot off attacks like whenever you have the ability, and then it cools down. It's like Xenoblade. Everyone's saying this is like Xenoblade Chronicles. The attack cools down, and then eventually you can just use it again. So they look like they are getting away from turn-based battles here,
Choose
which
your
is
timing
awesome.
and positioning carefully to
I
gain
like the
upper
turn-based
hand.
Pokemon, of course, but look at this Stealth Rock, and you've got Heavy Slam, which is not very effective. The Triangle is going to be not very effective.
Lead your partner Pokemon
That was
through
a fire
battles
type
and dodge
Talonflame.
incoming attack.
And look at this, Onyx is going to destroy. Super effective, super effective, super effective against a Pyroar.
Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move.
Boom, Rock
What's more,
Slide.
certain Pokemon can go beyond
Here we go, the
evolution
Mega
by
Evolutions.
undergoing
Another big reason
Mega Evolution.
why I'm excited for this game. Mega Ampharos, look at that. the Charizard, the Black Charizard, and a Mega Kangaskhan. They show a bunch more in a different trailer. Gyarados, you know, Absol,
the Pokemon will do more than
Gardevoir. So there's gonna be a ton of cool designs from the Mega Evolutions, and they just dominate. I like how there's Garbodors in the city, like there's gotta be, right? Oh look, Gyarados, Inkay in the river.
Who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences
It's gonna be interesting to see how they fit the wild zones in and really how good they are. That's what I want to see. So, all right, that's really the end of that trailer. That's what I wanted to take a look at today. But just to summarize and wrap up, the game is never gonna be about the graphics first. Game Freak's always about gameplay first. So it's going to be exciting for me. I'm very much looking forward to the game. Do I think it looks great? No. But I think I forgot to say this earlier in the video. I'll say it right here. This game, that trailer, all this gameplay is running on the Nintendo Switch 1, okay? Let's not get it twisted. I watched Digital Foundry's podcast where John Linneman was like almost offended. He was so flabbergasted in the podcast that people thought this ZA trailer was running on a Switch 2. He's like, oh man, I can't even believe, like, people need to rethink what they believe about video game graphics and what they know about video games, because no, that's Switch 1. Like, ZA is a Switch 1 game still. So that to me gives me actually a little bit more hope, you know, that Game Freak can do better on the next system. And, you know, maybe the constraints of the Switch 1 is holding them back. You know, I think a lot of people believe that Game Freak just doesn't have the chops to make good graphics in their games. But I think in the next round, you know, Generation 10, the next mainline game, we're going to see better graphics, right? But again, either way, this is a Nintendo Switch 1 game. It doesn't matter about the graphics. We want to make sure the game runs well, like frame rate wise. Make sure it performs a lot better than Scarlet and Violet, and then we're good. Let's play the game. It's going to be fun. Game Freak's always been good about their gameplay, you know, and how fun their games are going to be. So with that being said, I'm going to leave it there. What do you guys think about ZA? Does it just look like trash, like Nintendo 64 trees? Or are you actually excited to play this game? And hopefully, you know, it looks a little bit better from this gameplay trailer, which was probably captured like months ago, and they have a whole year almost to improve the game, you know? Let me know what you think. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.